we will be crowning a second champion tonight. All right. So, Doc28 versus Illegalism. I'm going to go ahead and guess that they're still in game 1, but
yeah, those games are very fast.
Could possibly be game 2, but I'm going to make a wager that it's still game 1 here.
It doesn't look like they're too deep in this. I could imagine that this is game 2. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Doc has some good cards in hand, but Legalism has a developed Howling Peak, which is going to go off next turn. Zalchi from the market, jeez. Going to put a dent in Doc's life total. And a Kairos to follow up next turn if Illegalism can draw power. Doc has a Defiance for the Zalchi. It's not insane. I think this is going to be really tough for Doc. I think... Geez, what do you even do here? Go to the market for the Sweeper, maybe? Oh, go for Rezon.
Rezon to take care of the site.
Yeah, it does finish off the site. That's one step to coming back in this one. I guess the Rezon can also block the Zalchi, but it doesn't have lifesteal.
Do you have the site, have the Arcanum coming down next turn, but that Zalchi is definitely going to have to be dealt with.
Yeah, Legalism has the Snowball just to take down the Pearl Abbey Smuggler. Oh, and can play, because this was, what do you call it? It was discounted from Heart of the Vault. Oh, wow, okay. So Legalism just drew a ton of cards.
7 cards?
Yeah, unless Doc can increase the amount of damage they can do by 10 this turn, I think that's going to be game.
Once again, we've seen Kairos just completely take over the game. I mean, it's expensive at 9, and a lot of times, Ladder has a lot of aggro decks on there, but are we going to see, going forward now, are we going to see some Kairos decks? I mean, it seems incredibly powerful.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that is a way to win the, to break the mirror, right? You have to attack with Rezon here. There's no other option. All right.
All right, so I believe, according to the standings, I think that was game 1. Going to Idealism. One of their quicker wins tonight.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I like about Idealism's deck too that we've seen here is it seemed to take a long time, seemed to go slow, but when they get in a winning position, the game ended fairly quickly. It was usually a turn or two before that was over.
Yeah, just in case Zalchi didn't close out games fast enough. Now you have a way to absolutely finish the game on your next turn.
Just checking that. Yeah, let's go. That's looks like that was
okay.
Game 1, I believe. All right, so they're back in it again. Let's get the hand cam back up. Doc28 with an Alessia, Heart of the Vault, and a Kairos' Choice here.
Yeah, Kairos' Choice can protect that Alessi, and I wonder if Doc is going to wait until 3 to play that Alessi for that reason. Bottoming the 7-drop, that makes a lot of sense. I think you just want to try to hit this Heart of the Vault uncurve if possible.
Oof, Illegalism really needs some power here. And they hit 2 off the Strategize, so that'll help. But they only had 2 power in hand. But
yeah,
there's a 4. And that's something you see with some of these more controlling decks. Even though they need to hit the powers, a lot of them have ways to manipulate their draws to make sure that they can get it. Things like Strategize to help smooth out the power flows. Something that the 2 decks, the aggro decks we saw, don't really have those capabilities. So we saw some of the power screw on some of those other decks, but they also don't really have as many ways as these decks do to sculpt the draws to make sure they hit their big power drops.
Yeah, seek powers in honor of claws and whatnot. So Doc being very careful to hold up the Kairos' Choice to protect the Alessi. So Alessi's going to go back to the hand as a 2/2, which is not terribly spectacular. I mean, she's still just going to die to a torch if that's what happens. But I suppose she's not going to die to a snowball.
All right,
Doc really suffering on influence here, needing both a time and a justice in order to deploy cards in their hand.
Yeah. They do have the time in hand for the Heart of the Vault. They don't have the justice right now for the Pristine Light. But having the Alessi on the board helps.
Legalism can just go for the Sandstorm Titan, but chooses just to go for the Torch rather
yeah,
playing
I think that makes sense. Just get rid of
it
it clean, throw it away, and move on to your next turn and keep hitting your draws. I think that totally makes sense.
I actually would like Sandstorm Titan then. Anytime I am, I'm playing a game and I don't use up all of my power in the first few turns, I get extremely frustrated.
Yeah, that is true. You do want to be power efficient, but all right, being able to hit that Vanquish there on the Sandstorm Titan. Yeah, I mean that's an efficient way to get rid of that. Like we said, we're not perfectly optimally playing out all of our power here, but you get a Vanquish on a Sandstorm Titan. That's basically the best you can hope for.
So this merchant's probably going to put away his Snowball, but what for? Zalchi? I think he probably just gets Zalchi here.
I would think so. You have the influence for it. You just need one more power. You're going to get that over the next couple turns, and then if you can manage to hit that and then a Howling Peak too, you'll be in great shape.
Yeah, you're 2 steps away from being able to play Kairos.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 2 steps further away from being able to play Kairos than Zalchi.
Equivocate. Interesting. Okay. Respecting the threats that Doc28 might put down.
All right. I can dig it.
Comes Heart of the Vault for Doc. Going to go after the Merchant.
Ooh. Yeah, if Doc draws a power here, no power. If there was a power, then
I guess that play makes sense though, also because getting Illegalism down from 25 to 23 isn't really going to be the story of this game. So might as well go.
I definitely agree with
the chance to kill the Merchant. Smart play there by Doc.
Okay, Illegalism's own Heart of the Vault. This one just going face because there's no draw that could finish off the Heart of the Vault.
Yep.
And Doc has the opportunity to land the site, the Xulta Arcanum. Let's see if that's what they do.
Also
I just want to see the new cards. I'll be honest. Like, I'm just
attack with the Heart of the Vault. Try to get the trade. If not, Pristine Light. If you wanted to take care of the other Heart of the Vault.
Yeah, but I'm not too happy about not having my Heart of the Vault on the board.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I think I'm okay with the trade, but I don't think I want to use Pristine Light to facilitate it. Oh, hey, what's up? Hello, Raiders from Noverb's channel.
Hey, Noverb, thanks for the raid. We appreciate it. Welcome everyone to Tuesday Night Eternal. We are in the last semifinal round of the ranked tournament tonight. Illegalism is up 1-0 over Doc28. This is the best 2 out of 3, and the winner of this match will go on to face Gold 47 with Stone Scar Aggro in the finals. So welcome everybody.
All right. So what's Illegalism going to do here? There's a site, and that's a pretty big problem. They do have a Heart of the Vault. I like this. Just Heart of the Vault, the site. Yeah, try to get that down. Although this site does a lot of work. I mean, it already made 2 2/2s.
Yeah.
Next turn, it's going to draw 2 cards. And that's ignoring the ability to use Harmony of Flame or Vital Arcana. There's actually, you know what? There's even a case just to use the Harmony of Flame here in order to, deploy more of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's going to go on here? Warping Heart of the Vault. That's never a bad idea. Just going after a Merchant.
Heart of the Vault on top. Welcome again, everybody, to chat. If you have any questions, or you want to see any deck lists or anything, feel free to ask in chat or any feedback. And then for those of you who weren't able to join earlier, we will have the full VODs on YouTube available tomorrow. So be sure to check those out if you missed some. We had some pretty epic games in round 2 today.
Yeah, we got to get some highlights of that.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know about the tournament circuit, it's roughly every other Tuesday. I think it's been every other Tuesday
every
since
2 weeks,
the start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cash prize to the winner, free to enter, and we cast it.
Absolutely.
And by we, I mean you, of course.
Wow, we cast it, and you get to show off your skills and your cute and your cool plays like Illegalism has done a couple times tonight.
All right, so what's going on here? We're on Illegalism's side, right? Trying to figure out what to do. Going to copy the Heart of the Vault.
Yep, they're going to play a Howling Peak here.
Gun down. Going to use Torch to finish it off,
Yeah, they're going to have to use Torch to finish that off. They do have that key display of Instinct in hand, but they're saving that. I wonder if they're going to try to pop this Arcanum next turn.
Yeah, so this would work out pretty well, forcing a chump block, but Doc also just has that 0-cost Defiance from the Heart of the Vault.
Yep.
Just going to use the chump block here, which is
it's
also probably fine. Yeah.
Even though 2/2 could be a chump fodder for sure.
Okay, Doc needs to answer this Heart of the Vault here. Otherwise we're going to see some fireworks. Oh, it's also interesting that the Harmony of Flame makes every other spell in Doc's deck cost 1 less.
Mm-hmm. All right, going to play out the Smuggler here. Let's see what they grab from the market. Ooh, they're going to grab Kairos of their own.
Kairos of their own. And getting the power from the site. This site has really impressed me with a deck like this. I really like this deck that Doc has.
It's very expensive. I mean, 7 power for a site is pretty expensive, but it's impressed me for sure. Unfortunately, Doc's Kairoses are not the sweet alt art, so they're not quite as powerful as the Legalism's alt art Kairoses.
I'm just going for Heart of the Vault to finish off the site. Okay, well
now what that does do is that prevents the getting the Fire Sigil. So we are one short on Kairos actually this turn. So I don't know
unless Illegalism can rip.
I don't know if that was intentional for Doc, knowing that they were going for Kairos and needing that 9th power, but it did work, and it kept Illegalism off of Kairos this turn. But drawing a Kairos off of that Strategize and their 9th power, so they're setting up for next turn.
Well, I think Doc is just going to run away with this one. Because Doc gets to play Kairos on the next turn. Draw 2 cards, whatever, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And has the power advantage and just has a ton of cards in hand.
Yeah. They're going to toss past the display of Instinct, so not doing anything against the site. Site's going to go off. Getting themselves a Bren. Playing out the Kairos.
Yeah. Oh man, this Seek power generates power because of the Bren. That's amazing. Equivocating the Kairos? Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Not a bad play. Let's see what
Apex Predator. Oh, nice.
Apex Predator, pretty nice. Like you said before, though, equivocating any 9 drops is probably pretty decent.
Yeah, that's true.
And looking back at Illegalism's hand, you got the double Kairos in hand.
This site is so good. It also gets any power. It's not, and it's undepleted it obviously the crest there was depleted, but you can get undepleted power from it. I'm really loving this site.
I've loved tonight that we've gotten to see so many expensive spells. We've got to see 7 drops. We've got to see consistent 9 drops.
Yeah, and who wasn't able to make the top 4 also was just jamming those 8 and 9 drops also.
Gonna grab a Rizon with a Smuggler. Illegalism draws Primal Sigil for the turn, but 2 Kairos in hand.
Yeah, well, here's the Kairos number 1. There's 6 cards. Well, this
power. Visual.
Defiance. There's a Pristine Light. So I think that Doc has this. If Doc did not have an answer for that Kairos, I would just say that getting to take a turn with a Kairos in play is basically the same as winning.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Doc can
use the Pristine Light. We'll take care of that Kairos.
Like, I think Doc can lead off with Xulta Arcanum and just play Harmony of Flame and get a bunch of power. What's this? Just getting an armor from this? That's an interesting use of Torch.
Also putting Illegalism down to 16. Oh, a Vanquish off the top.
Wow, that's even better.
That is great draw.
Yeah, you don't have to lose your own cards. And that costing 1?
That could just be lethal. taking that down attack. You've got 4, 7, 9. Oh, and with the
Here's the
killer,
Apex Predator.
19. I think that is lethal.
Oh wow, you get a power for killer? Holy cow, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's just game. He's got 16,
Block here.
16 unblockable on board.
Yep.
Wow.
All right.
Nice play. That Vanquish. I mean, Doc28 may have been able to win that anyway. Was in a really good spot, but that Vanquish off the top just really sealed it there.
All right. Well, the game 2 is going to go to Doc28, and that means we get game 3, right?
This is game 3. Yep, we've had some sweet game 3s already tonight, and this will be it. So this will be a win and in. The winner of this game is going to go into the finals against Stone Scar Aggro. Now, both of these decks are a little bit slower. Which of these decks do you think has the better matchup against Gold 47's Stone Scar Aggro deck?
That's a good question. I think I gotta give it to Doc, because Doc has all the Alessi to get armor and just to block early on.
Yeah.
Illegalism, as cool as the deck is, might have a hand that's just stuck with 9 drops, 6 and 9 drops in it, and fall that way.
I would totally agree with you. I think if I'm sitting in gold seat with the Stone Scar Aggro deck, I think I'm much happier to face the bigger deck, the big Kairos deck, and just try to get them dead before they can stabilize. I think Doc's deck having much more early game interaction and Alessi's and other things is going to be a lot harder for me to get through, I would think.
All right, here we go. Doc,
look at this hand.
This is a crazy keep.
What a keep by Doc. Seek power, 7-drop, 8-drop.
Well, it's got plenty of influence. Legalism on the play, too.
Legalism with 2 strategizes, Display of Instinct, and a Howling Peak.
I might not go 6 with a hand like this, I'll be honest. So I can understand where the keep might be coming from.
A lot of people using bot commands in the chat. I guess that means I got to set up some sort of bot for this, huh?
Yeah, it's surprisingly difficult, I gotta say. It's surprising, setting up a bot. Like, once you know how to do it, it's not too bad, but figuring it out can be kind of tricky.
All right, Illegalism going to play that Treacher Trail off of the Zhou, and Doc28 going to draw a Zhou for the turn. All right, so typical of what we've seen from these decks. First couple turns, just kind of setting up, making sure they're hitting their power draws, making sure that they're setting up their hands, sculpting their hands for the future turns when they can start landing their heavy power creatures.
Yeah, I kind of suspect the first play to the board is going to be a Howling Peak on 6 for Illegalism. Oh wait, no, we got a Merchant.
We got a Merchant. Merchant and Smuggler on either side. That's your typical control deck, right? You got a lot of late game things, set up your early draws, and play some Smugglers and Merchants.
So if you're Doc here, do you go for Rezon or do you go for Karos? Like, do you try to bridge that gap?
I think so. I think you have to assume you're going to have more turns to get Karos for the late game.
Yeah, probably. You do play 2 sets of Smugglers.
Yeah.
All right, so show for no,
which is fine too. I think that's absolutely respectable. And I think Doc kept a Defiance. Did they keep a Defiance on the top? They saw one. I'm not sure if they kept it on the top or the bottom.
Paying attention to that,
with
Scott.
The Torch and the Pristine Light, they may feel we've got enough things to carry us over, and then the Sight on 7 that they don't really need the 5.
All right. It's also true that Rezon doesn't kill a ton out of that deck.
Mm-hmm. And if it's not killing something and you're just kind of playing it naked out onto the board, that's not really a great play at this point either.
All right, here comes a Merchant.
All right, what's the Legalism gonna take here? They're gonna go for the Kairos as well.
Exciting. All right, so Doc doesn't really have a play here.
Not
Was
really.
never going to have a play here anyway.
Yeah, not
Has
really.
powers 7 and 8 for Xulta Arcanum into Joe.
Yeah, and look,
Oh,
they
Illegalism.
can't. They don't have a way. Doc does not have a way to deal with the merchant's +1 power, allowing the Howling Peak to copy it, meaning that Illegalism is going to be 3 power ahead of Doc and going to be able to
Yeah,
deploy their Kairos first, which is going to be big game, being able to be so far ahead on power. And
well, the Kairos might not do a ton
mhm.
just yet, right?
Right, with
Like, if
0
the
power
Kairos just gets
units.
Pristine Light, yeah, it's not drawing any cards.
Right. But being able to go Zalchi into Kairos, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good. It's also difficult to deal with the Zalchi. I guess, like, Vanquish plus Pristine Light does the job.
Yeah. I just think in matchups like this where it's so much about these big power drops, being able to get 2 ahead of your opponent and them not being able to deal with your merchants, just lets you kind of put the big threats early and put the pressure, put your opponent on the back foot.
Yeah, certainly. So here's another line of play. We're going to just see Zalchi here, but there was also another option for Illegalism to play Sandstorm Titan, then use the display to protect it, and then try to land Kairos in the next turn. I think that's worth considering.
Now, do you
Not that playing.
feel we're going to see the play we saw earlier where you take care of the Zalchi and then Pristine Light after?
Oh yeah,
Which again, I mean, kind of a 2-for-1 here. It's something that
yeah, it is.
Illegalism can't be too upset about.
And getting rid of that Pristine Light's a big deal because that hits so many cards in Illegalism's deck.
Yeah.
And if Doc doesn't fire off that Pristine Light, okay, they do.
I think they're gonna have to. I mean, it's a 2-turn clock, really. Use the torch to take out the Alessi. Okay, makes sense.
Doc could have used the torch to save the Alessi, and I think I actually
Although I
would have
guess
liked that.
you had gun down here on the Howling Peak,
Oh yeah, I was gonna get gunned down
so
anyway.
probably could have
That's right.
saved the torch. But we saw this spot earlier in a previous game where Illegalism just keeps playing out threats, and these threats are so good that they just demand an answer from Doc. And then as soon as the opponent's able to stumble, you can slam Kairos, or you can counter something with Display of Instinct and end the game very quickly once they run out of ways to deal with your threats.
All right, here's Joe. So are we going to see Kairos draw 5? I think that's what I want to see from Illegalism.
All right, let's make sure let's see Illegalism. Did you learn the lesson previously? All right, did it right this time. Throw that Kairos down.
Permafrost on Joe would be amazing, but I don't know that Legalism's even playing Permafrost. I don't think I've seen one.
No, in this show, now the Joe I was gonna say is not very impactful on this board, but Doc28 being to follow up with the Kairos with the Joe on board is going to be pretty impactful here.
Yeah, but Legalism gets to play again first. I think you have to answer your just matching Kairos's. I think the person that plays theirs first is tremendously ahead. What's Doc's life total? Essentially 18. Well,
yeah, 18.
Yeah, like Howling Peak here. Howling Peak copying Kairos. It's game over.
Yeah.
Right, deal 12 damage, draw 12 cards.
Yeah.
Oh, there is Permafrost.
And there's Permafrost there.
So as unappealing as it is, I think that maybe Doc just didn't have an answer for Kairos.
Yeah, I'm looking at their hand. Could Doc even have done anything against the opposing?
Yeah, could go market for Shenron Speaks, and I think that was necessary because they're like, you just drew 5 cards and you have unlimited power, and everything you play does a ton of damage. Like it's just going to end the game.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Well, congrats. Thank you, Doc28. Played great tonight. Really, always a pleasure to see you play. Doc28 was last week's champion, so it's actually not a given. We have Gold 47 who won previously, going for their second championship, and we have Illegalism in the finals trying to win their first on a pretty sweet brew tonight. I really like this brew from Illegalism.